Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. I wanted to cover kind of being a target, when you feel like you've not necessarily got to look over your shoulders or watch your back, check who's behind you, but just being a high caliber producer in this industry brings high caliber problems. When you come in and you're tearing the leaderboards up, you're making a huge difference, you're writing a lot of business, you're obviously making money, you put a target right on your back. And with that, people start, I'll keep it real with you guys, I'm a very blunt person, I don't like sugarcoating stuff. People like to run their mouths and talk shit about you. So that's not just in a certain company, that's just life in general. But this industry can be very cutthroat at times. Like I said, I'll keep it 100% real with everyone who watches this. Just being someone who has confidence, it comes off as cocky a lot of times to a lot of people. Knowing your stuff, like people get threatened. And the biggest thing is envy, right? Most people want to be where you're at, and that creates a lot of animosity and envy and jealousy towards you. So they lash out, they say shit to make themselves feel better. These are the same people in school who were probably bullied, so they're taking it out on you. So you've got to keep in mind to shut the noise out. These people talking shit like that, I don't know why people want to be trolls and keyboard warriors. I don't get the point in that. When I see negative comments, like my mind really goes towards compassion. Sometimes you've just got to handle things how you see fit. I'm not perfect. I don't ever claim to be. Sometimes I don't handle things the best, but I always try to. So, I mean, when you see negative comments, I really don't even like reading them, but it's kind of my job to respond to everybody taking the time to watch my stuff. It's part of the job. So, like I said, when people are talking negative or crazy stuff, I find the best course of action is actually torturing them with success. I believe in all the killing them with kindness stuff, but my mind immediately goes towards compassion, like empathy. Like I kind of feel bad. And I'm not saying this to be condescending. It might come off that way, and it is what it is, but whoever is watching this even, and you're taking the time out of your day. We only got 24 hours in a day. 8 hours of it's sleeping, another 8 hours is working, there's 16 hours gone. You got what most people eat, 3 meals a day. Let's be honest, most people are probably about 6 meals a day right now. 3 meals a day, probably an hour of prep for each meal. There's 19 hours. Couple hours of driving, or most of it's tweeting and texting, and then most people got that addiction, right? That sliding addiction. Bing, bing, bing. They get fueled from these 3 likes they get on their Facebook post, and 2 of them's from their cousins. It's just kind of sad. Like you took the time out of your day to watch my video to put me down to make yourself feel better. I don't really get the logic in that, but it's just what it is. And like I honestly want to just hug them. Like I feel bad. To me, it seems like your life is so miserable. You're really willing to spend hours of your day trying to tear me down to make yourself feel better. So when I'm reading people's comments, I think it's pretty funny. Like, here's the thing. Most of the people talking shit about you would never even attempt to try what you're doing, like to try what you're trying to do. Like, just think about that. Look at people trying to do a pull-up record, like David Goggins, one of my huge role models. Guy broke the world pull-up record, like the Guinness Book of World Records. He broke the pull-up record. It was like 4,000 or something in 24 hours. In the thousands of comments and just dislikes of people saying like, oh, you can only do 3,000 or some shit. Like, these are the same people who are overweight, have terrible relationships with their family. They might be a public success, but behind closed doors, they're a terrible father, a lover, and a all-around not decent human being. So you can't really let the noise get to you, because these same people would never even put themselves in your shoes to even attempt what you're doing. So if you're going to make plans or goals, whatever you want to call them, make them big, or you're shooting yourself right in the foot. This life is very short. What most people freak out now around 30 years old. I don't even know why. Maybe 50, 60 years ago, when the life expectancy was 50, 60 years old, because everyone thought smoking was healthy. But that's not the case anymore. Most people are living 80, 90, 100, whatever. Like it. You see some monks living until 120. I don't even know how that shit's possible, but probably all the broccoli they're eating or something. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. So just learn to shut the noise out. Because these same little trolls, and keep in mind, like, a lot of these people are 40, 50 years old, like, hating on you. And I mean, I think that's a good indication of partial success, right? When you're doing something good or impactful, people are jealous that they're not doing it themselves, and they're embarrassed, so they want to lash out and be a prick to you on the internet. And that's as real as I could put it. Just being someone who someone else listens to, like when you start having authority, people have a problem with that, because they're losing control of things. And what do you typically do when you think you're losing control? You fight that much harder to get it back, and you start doing things you never even thought you'd be doing. And that's why I really don't even trust people who are like desperate for money. You just never know what they're going to do. Those are the people willing to stab you in the back or make you look bad for themselves to get $1. So I'm going to tell you guys, you have to learn how to shut the noise out, because it doesn't matter. These same people who are bashing you on the internet, their lives are just in shambles. So maybe try to make their lives better. I don't know, like I said, just treat it with compassion. I just feel bad for those people. Like there's people who will hate on you for making videos. I don't even know why, but they're scared to put their face on a video or go even attempt to do what you're doing. Like, they're not willing to make themselves uncomfortable. And that's such a huge thing in life, right? And in order to break past that next barrier, that ceiling you're running into, whether you're trying to pass a new threshold, like you have to be able to, sometimes you have to be able to take one step back to take 2 steps forward. And most people are too scared of that. Like, they don't want to put themselves in uncomfortable positions. And that's what really makes someone grow. Like, you realize when you're growing, the more you're growing, the more you realize that you've got farther to go than you think. So just keep that in mind. We're all on this world for a very short period of time, and you become pictures on the wall for the grandkids. So I know I personally don't want to be 7 years old commenting on someone's Instagram post trying to make them feel bad to make myself feel better. I've got a lot better shit to do in my life. So just keep that in mind, guys. Shut the noise out. It doesn't matter. And take great pride in doing things that no one else would ever want to do themselves. People don't want to wake up at 6 a.m. and take cold showers, write their goals down. That's a waste of time to most people. So when they see you doing it, you're different. You stand out. You're the ugly duckling. And you know what? I take great pride in that. So if you feel like the world's against you, it might be a good thing. Now, if you're doing bad shit, that's one thing. But if you're working hard and people are just jealous, you're obviously doing something right, because you're bringing attention. And that's what this whole kind of world runs off of is attention. Someone knows your name, you're 10 steps ahead of them. So hope that helped you guys. Leave a like and a comment below of your favorite part of the video, and we'll keep this going on. Thanks guys. See ya.